before the storm. You can see the clouds going by. We occasionally get these big strong bands. Lagun table. So I'm going to get rid of this big giant table and put in that smaller round table. Boards that I'm going to cut so I can have, when I get rid of this table, I'm going to need some planks in case I ever have guests, so they can still, I think I'll be able to keep these inside this cabinet right here. So I just need to cut them to size. I think 2 is enough. Okay, here's my table. And it matches pretty good. Now the other side, it didn't stain, but because I had already started putting the polyurethane on it, I thought, oh no, I think it's too light. So I put the polyurethane, the stain on after, so it didn't stain as well as this side did. And I think it's like a perfect match. Alright, so first let me show you the table. Really nice big table, especially if you're going to be working on your computer or if you got 2 people. But right in the middle, so this is the middle right there, and you can't get in on this side, so you have to push it that way to get in. But it's nice. It's a little bit easier for this person to get in. You know, so when you're by yourself, you tend to just use this side more. I like to sit on that side so that I can see out of the door. So what I've been doing is pulling it all the way this way. And it's much easier to get in. It's no big deal. But you really can't lounge here. If you're here, it's table, dinette, and its only purpose. So I do want to try the smaller table and kind of use this more as a lounging area. So we'll see. Alright, just wanted to show you how it is before I take this out. So this is what the table looks like on its side. And it's got this whole mechanism. Very sturdy, but very heavy and big. Hi, Loki. What's up? Wow. Look how big this area looks without that table in there. Huge. Oh my gosh. Alright. Let me try to figure out where I'm going to do this table. I think I'm going to mount it here instead of here like a lot of other people have been doing, because look how far this cushion sticks out. Now my other one stuck out a tiny bit and it kind of impressed it in, but you know, the person sitting here was limited to how far they could go over. It never was a problem. I don't have people with me, but I think I'm going to put it here. I don't see how much a big of a difference it'll make from here to here, other than it being able to come closer to the kitchen area, which I don't need. All right, let me figure this out. Go here. And be able to come around here. Come around here. If you put it, if you were to mount it here, it would be able to go here, here, and maybe even a little this way. But I don't need it to do that. So I'm gonna mount it here. This is going to have to stick way out here. Alright, let's see. So I've got this wood, which I have plenty of. So I'm going to have about this much left over. I'll be able to use that to build up build it up. So why don't I go ahead and cut these so I know what I have. And then I'm going to have to probably stain these and polyurethane them. But this wood is also will match pretty good once I stain it. And I only got 2 of these. I could always go back and get a third, but let me see. Move, bud. Yeah, see? So this is plenty enough to hold, you know, to hold up the bed. To go across here. And then I can store them just down in here. The only thing I have down in there is just shoes. Alright, I need to measure from here to here and get these cut. Could measure the table, that'd probably be easier. I'm going to measure here, and then I'm going to measure the table. The table did fit nice and snug. We're at 32 inches. Alright, so you can see I cut. Oh no, there's my line, there's the thing. Let's see. I don't know. I didn't want to cut it off and can't put it back, so I figured I'd try it first. Alright. That's going to be nice. That's perfect. So these will be able to I can go through this way, but I can also access this way. Show you. You can see it's hitting this door. It's actually going past this. So what I'll have to do is probably lay it in here at an angle Let's see. Alright, let me get my hands free. Hold on. Yeah, so I was able to put it in here like this at an angle. That's as far as it'll go. But still, there's plenty of room for my couple pieces of shoes, and when I have all my shoes in here, I still have all this room over here. So let me put the second one in here and see what it looks like. Okay, there's the second one. And it's in there. Nice and tight. Still have room for my shoes. I still have room back here to put some stuff. Okay. So here are the boards that I have left. This one broke when I was cutting it. These boards are they're just boards glued together. But at least they're, not press board. Let's see. That. Needs to come out more. So I'm gonna have to do two. Like that. Alright, so now I need to look inside here, what's behind here. Here's the piece that's going to go back here, and get some light. Alright, so I got a light back down there now. And you can see this is the front wall and it curves down. It's going to be difficult to get there. What is this? Maxi Force. Do not allow children to play. Oh, maybe bug traps. Huh. Oh yeah, there's some bugs in there. It's not working. So I measured to the top of the TV is just above 40. So I'm gonna stay right around here for the top of my mount. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Use this as my guide. Top of the thing used to be there, and then I'll drill the holes here. Okay. Measured from here to here, and right about here is where it clears the TV. So I'm going to go a little bit lower right here at 40. I just have this holding it up, so I don't have to try to so now I need to make sure that it's even from here to here. So I'm MacGyvering this. This is a little thing, so make sure this is, because I can't eyeball stuff, it always comes out crooked. So I'm gonna go like make sure this is riding along that edge, pressed up against that. This is level with this. I can't use a level because I don't know that the trailer is perfectly level, so I have to use this as my guide for straight up and down. my eyeballs think it's not level, but measure from here. Let me do this. Measure from here to here. What I need is to go through this, and the wall. So honestly, I need to go through this. So here is my 2 pieces of wood. Here's going to be the wall. This is going to be the other side, and then my mount will be on the opposite side, like that. So I need a bolt to go through all of that. So let's just say this is the other end. You know, I need a bolt at least that long. So I'm gonna go find some bolts that are this long. I know, real scientific, right? little bit more. So the table is touching the top there. I can still pull this up a little bit more. It was further down than I had originally planned because back here the TV comes down to right here, so I had to bring it down that far. There's the wedge. Now if I would have did it over here, I would have had to do the same thing, and then it's still, you know, it would have been impeding on this. So I think this is much better, and it still has a huge range of motion. I can have this way on this side, out of the way. I have this whole space over here to myself. And then also I did end up, I was going to put it in the middle because I was afraid of stability, but this is a very small table, so I did offset it to the left a little bit, or to the one side a little bit, so I get that. So when it's tilted like this, the table is off to the right of it. Or if I wanted it to be closer to this side, just do that. That's it.